Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different than the norm, just a smidge. I'm going to be doing my top 5 vanilla fragrances. So typically I haven't really featured any fragrances on my channel, or maybe I did and I forgot. I don't think so. But I figured this would be a great opportunity just to share some of my favorite fragrances, just because I have like a very specific type of fragrance that I like. And I figured I would just go ahead and share my top 5. Before we get into the fragrances, definitely give this video a big old thumbs up. And make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, because I'm sure you're not. So just go ahead and subscribe and keep watching for my top 5 vanilla scents. So the first vanilla fragrance that I fell in love with was this one right here. And this is the YSL Black Opium. I'm sure you guys have seen this scent everywhere. This is a very, very popular scent. But for me, this was one of the first fragrances that I actually liked. Believe it or not, I used to not like fragrance. I don't know what was wrong with me. I really don't. It was probably since young adulthood, or teenage years, to even early adulthood. I used to just not be about fragrances. I didn't really understand the hype. I got 1 or 2 fragrances before this, but this was the first fragrance where I really felt like I found my fragrance family that I loved. So this is the YSL Black Opium, just the regular, not the neon, not whatever other variations of this fragrance exist. So I'm going to be reading the notes for each of these fragrances just so you guys can get an idea of how it smells. But I would describe this fragrance as a grown and sexy scent. I feel like this one is just super sexy. When I worked in Sephora and guys were looking for fragrances for their wives, their girlfriends, and they would come in. I think I even had one guy come in and say that I want something where I smell it on her and I just want to rip her clothes off. This was, believe it or not, a direct quote that someone said. But this is a fragrance that I recommended and he loved it. So I feel like guys even love this fragrance. As far as the notes, this one, the key notes are black coffee, white flowers, and vanilla. I believe vanilla is either the middle note or the base note of this fragrance, and that's why I liked it so much. Initially when I tried this fragrance, I sprayed it on myself and I thought it was just way too loud. But 30 minutes after it dried down and really mixed with my body chemistry, I kept smelling and I'm like, what smells so good? And then I realized it was me. So that's when I knew I love this fragrance. Again, I have it in the travel size and now I have it in the full size bottle. And if you love vanilla like me, definitely consider picking this one up if it's not already in your collection. So the next fragrance is this one right here, and this is Princess by Killian, and this is my new baby. I love this fragrance. So I initially went into Sephora because I was interested in purchasing Love Don't Be Shy. So I ended up actually ordering that one online, trying it out, and then not really being a huge fan. So I returned the fragrance, but I thought I should still give Killian fragrances a chance, especially since Rihanna wears Killian, so I should wear Killian. You feel me? So I actually sprayed a few of the Killian scents, and this was the one that I instantly fell in love with. What's great about Killian scents is they are unisex, so both men and women can wear this fragrance. What I like the most about this one in particular is I feel like it's really sweet, so I feel like it leans slightly more feminine on the spectrum. But if I smelled a man wearing this, I would probably die. It just smells so freaking good. I don't know, when I bought this fragrance, I had to literally stop myself from wearing it every day. I could not help but just pick this fragrance up constantly. So there's good and bad news about this fragrance. If you're interested in picking it up, go to your local Sephora and try to get your hands on it, try to smell it, something, because these bad boys are being discontinued in the US. So the US market is no longer selling these particular Killian fragrances, so the one that have this type of packaging. So if you're interested in trying the other Killian scents that are also in this line, I would definitely go to your local Sephora as soon as possible, because I think I went last week. I'm pretty sure I went a week or two ago and they still, well, yeah, actually it was a week ago. I went a week ago and they still had some on the shelf, so you can definitely still pick this up. It's sold out on Sephora.com, so no luck there, but if you're interested, definitely try it out. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of information on this one. So this one doesn't specifically have vanilla in the notes, but I'm just lumping it in because it is in the Sweet Gourmand family. So it says for the key notes in this fragrance are ginger, green tea, and marshmallow. To be completely honest, I'm not a huge fragrance person, so I can't really pick up all the notes. All I know is there's something sweet and it smells good. With this one, I don't even know if I can smell the ginger or green tea, but that marshmallow, it just smells so good. This, I think, is just a super like sweet, but also like masculine and sexy, all wrapped up in one. Again, I'm not great with the explanations or the descriptions, but that's how I would classify this fragrance. I think it's definitely great for the nighttime because it is a little bit on the heavier side, especially if you spray like a few sprays. It can be a lot, but once it dries down, it just smells so good. So if you're interested in this fragrance, I would definitely say this is a good nighttime scent. For me, this is like an everyday scent, but everyone's not me, so proceed with caution at your own risk, but definitely go out and smell this if you're interested. They still have it in stores. Run, girl, run. So my next fragrance is a relatively new addition into the fragrance family. So I probably had this one for a few months, and believe it or not, this one was actually a blind purchase on Sephora.com. I was just on there. I don't know what I was trying to do. I think maybe I was trying to get into fragrances, and I saw this and just purchased it on a whim, and I don't know, but once I got it, I fell in love with this fragrance. So this is the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods fragrance, and if you love vanilla, you are going to love this fragrance. So it just smells to me like a slightly woody vanilla scent, if that makes sense. I don't know, again, these descriptions, I'm giving it my best for you guys, but this just smells so good, and it smells like vanilla with a twist. So for this one, I'll read you the notes as well. So the key notes in this fragrance are pear, rose, and vanilla. And then it also says this has a dash of fresh pear, a heart note of rose, and then the base note being vanilla. This is just, I don't know even how to describe it in words. It's so good. I feel like this is a great like everyday fragrance. It's light, but this also has a decent amount of perfume oil. This is an eau de parfum. Actually, the other two that I showed were eau de parfum as well, because that's typically the fragrances that I like to buy because they last longer on the skin. But this one has a pretty high concentration of perfume oil, which is nice. So this one lasts on the skin, girl. It lasts. And what I like most about this fragrance is because it leans pretty heavy on the vanilla side, it's great to mix and layer with other fragrances. So if you guys are ever curious, which I know you're probably not, but if you are and you want to know what I smell like, it is these two babies right here. They smell so good together. This Killian Princess, again, like I said, I don't think it has vanilla and it has marshmallow, but we lumping it all in the family. So this fragrance right here, because it is, I would say, a little bit more bold, but it does have that sweetness. Adding this in just enhances that sweetness even more and still holds like the integrity of this fragrance. Like, it's literally a match made in heaven. I love, love, love these two fragrances together and separately as well. And this Vanilla Woods is such a great addition into my fragrance family. I've been wearing it constantly since I've gotten it, and I just love, love, love it. I also pair it too with my Jo Malone fragrance, which is, I believe, the Wood Sage and Sea Salt. Those pair really well together. It's kind of like a salty sweet, like a salted caramel-y type of scent, so to speak, but it smells delicious. So if you're really into vanilla, this is a great one just to have in your collection. Or if you like to enhance like sweet or vanilla notes in your fragrances, this one is good as well. Also, speaking of layering these two together is also a match made in heaven as well. I mostly layer this one with the Killian, but sometimes when I do wear my Black Opium and I want to give it a little zhuzh, I zhuzh it up with this 7 Virtues. Either of these are great, but again, solo they're great, together they're great. This one is just like a must-have. So the next fragrance in this vanilla fragrance family is actually a travel size fragrance, and it is this bad boy right here, and this is the Kollie Vanilla fragrance. So basically what happened with this fragrance was I was on Sephora.com, as I always am because I spent too much money, and I ended up getting not one but 2 samples of this fragrance. I took one of the samples with me on a trip, pre-COVID obviously, because I haven't gone on any trips in a long while, but pre-COVID I took this with me, the sample, on a trip to Chicago. And while me and my best friend were in our hotel getting ready to go meet our other friend for dinner, I sprayed the little fragrance on, you know, put my finishing touches on, and my best friend was in the other room and she was like, "Britt, what is that?" And I was like, "Girl, this is that Kollie Vanilla. It smells so good. I love it." And she said it smells so good, she was gonna pick it up. Of course, I told her no because you can't be wearing my signature scent, but I'm just playing. Anyway, this fragrance, I had to pick it up. The reason why I picked up the travel size of this one was because it smells pretty similar to Vanilla Woods. As you can see, I already have this one in the full size bottle. So these 2 scents are pretty similar. They have slight differences, but to me, they're like subtle differences, so they're not super noticeable. So it doesn't make sense to really have both full size fragrances in my collection. But what I liked about this one was it's a regular size like travel spray, but it looks like a mini bottle and it sprays, which is super nice. So this one is great for travel, of course, which is why it's called a travel spray. But for the notes on this one, they are a little bit different than Vanilla Woods. So for this one, the key notes are Vanilla Orchids, Tonka Absolute, and Amber Woods. So both of them kind of have woody notes to them, but there's just something a little bit different with this one. Again, just like Vanilla Woods, this one is great to pair with YSL Black Opium, or even the Killian Princess scent, or even wearing alone. But I would not advise, unless you're like me and you just do too much, having both in your collection. You can do with just having one or the other. So I guess it's just deciding on which one you kind of want to have more. So I would definitely advise smelling both of these before just deciding on which one, because they do have subtle differences which might make a difference to you. To me, I'm like, they both smell like vanilla, they both smell good, I might as well just have both. Last but not least is this fragrance right here, and this is the Giorgio Armani My Way fragrance. So this one is the newest addition to my fragrance family. And I would definitely say this one is a little bit different than the other 4 that I have just shown you. So this one, I feel like, I don't know, this one gives me like fancy, like classy, but still like sexy vibes, if all of that makes sense. Like, I feel like this is a great scent to wear, like if you're going on a date, you're going to a nice dinner. Like, this one smells so good. What kind of makes this one a little bit different than the rest is this one I feel like is more florally. Yeah, like I feel like this one, if I had to describe it, I would say it's more of like a sweet floral scent. So it doesn't smell like fruity floral, but just like flowers, sweet, and then like a hint of vanilla. yeah, we're gonna roll with that. So this one again, I would say is very like classy. Like this one is dinner, date night, you're trying to be bad and bougie, you know, I feel like this scent would be perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and read some of the notes for this one. So this fragrance, the key notes are, oh look at me being right. So for Scent Family, this one is a classic floral. So I was right by describing this one as being floral, but this one does have vanilla in it as well. So for the key notes for this fragrance, they are orange blossom, tuberose, and vanilla. So this is a very interesting fragrance to say the very least, because all of the fragrances that I've shown you except for this one have been sweet gourmand fragrances, and I feel like typically fragrances that have vanilla kind of are in that family, not all the time. And again, I'm no fragrance expert, but just from my personal experience, I feel like they kind of lean more towards the gourmand side. So I think this one is an interesting use of vanilla, having it in more of a florally fragrance, but it does not disappoint. Now this one, I haven't gotten a chance to wear it too often because of course we're like still in a pandemic, and it's not like I'm really going on any dates or dinners or anything like that. But I did wear this fragrance a few times, and it wears really nicely on the skin and all day. I can definitely say I was smelling this fragrance the entire day, and I just felt super classy with a little bit of bougie. Overall, these are the top 5 fragrances in my collection, and these are the fragrances that I'm reaching for 9 times out of 10. So in terms of longevity and wear, out of the top 5 that I just showed you, I would say the longest lasting scent is this Killian right here. I feel like I can spray it on my clothes, spray it on my skin. Wherever I spray it, it is there. It is stuck and it is not going anywhere. Which is the one thing that I really love about this fragrance. It just sticks with you all day. I will say when you initially spray this, it does project a little bit. So if you don't want fragrances that project a lot, just be warned, or maybe just tone down the amount of sprays. I remember I sprayed this like probably a couple months ago and my mom did not like it, but I mean, it's my fragrance, not hers. So just be mindful of that. I would say after that one, in terms of longevity, I would definitely go with the classic YSL Black Opium. This one lasts pretty long as well. I can't say it lasts quite as long as the Killian, but it does last. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And of course, if you made it all the way to the end, hopefully you gave this video a thumbs up. And if you didn't, why not take the time right now and give the video a thumbs up. And if, again, you made it all the way to the end, you should be subscribed to my channel. And if you're not, I'm gonna need you to go down to one of these sides over here and hit that red subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, because more content is coming. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and stay tuned for more content to come.